I was living as a foreigner, pretty much in my teen and my 20s. So I actually, basically I was oftentimes I was discriminated against as a Asian or as a Japanese, or sometimes just simply as a foreigner. Yeah. But at the same time, I took advantage of the fact that I was a foreigner, because oftentimes I was forgiven for not knowing or not following the local customs or local rules and all those stuff. There was a good side and bad side. I'm saying. Um, but anyway, when I was in Hong Kong, that was the turning point of my life, actually. Yeah, because when I was in the U.S., I was discriminated against as Asian mainly, not always as Japanese, but as Asian. And sometimes back in the U.S., I was, you know, I, you know, I can think, I can thank the U.S. enough for like taking such good care of me, um, and building my building the personality that I have right now. But but at the same time, there are every country has some assholes basically, and there are some people who discriminate against me. Which looking back now, it's not big of a deal because every country has, I think. But anyway, but I was discriminated against as Asian mainly. So people call me chink. People call me whatever gook. Chink stands for Chinese, right? And gook stands for Korean, and Jap or whatever, or like simply like I forgot. There's so many different terms. Actually. Yeah, I don't speak the kind of terms anymore, so I don't know. But anyway, I was yeah, I was facing that kind of stuff back in the U.S. But in Hong Kong, mm, I faced the discrimination or racism as a Japanese person, because Hong Kong mainly has Chinese people, so most people look like me actually. Yeah, they're all Asians, and I'm Asian and stuff. I don't if I don't open my mouth, then you know they will not find out that I'm Japanese, right? But once I open my mouth and that they know that my canteen isn't good, uh, you know, and then once they find out that I'm Japanese, and I had to face discrimination in Hong Kong. Yeah, and I happened to work at this company called Cathay Pacific Airways, which is an airline company, and it's a huge airline company, and mostly the employees are Chinese or Hong Kong Chinese, Cantonese Chinese, and people from Singapore, Taiwan, and stuff like that. Yeah, and they, Jesus Christ, talking so much about myself. I have to end it very soon. Um, then lots of people talk basically shit about Japan. Yeah, they are very jealous of Japan. They are they want to say things. They don't really say stuff like that to Japanese women. Yeah, for some reason. Yeah, but to Japanese men, they say things. Yeah, and I wasn't the only person who had to face that kind of stuff. Most Japanese men who lived in Hong Kong had to face something like that. They say things. They say that Japanese killed lots of people in China, or Hong Kong, or Taiwan, Korea, Singapore, whatever, um, stuff like that. And I didn't know that. Actually, I didn't really know that Japan occupied those places. I mean, I think I kind of knew that from the textbooks and stuff, but it wasn't really in me. Like I couldn't until I was there, and there are actually people who want to talk about it, who are educated to basically hate Japan. Yeah. So that was a big, huge difference between the racism that I face in the U.S. or other countries, and the racism that I had to face. I actually faced in Asia. Yeah. So anyway, that's how I came to know that I'm actually Japanese, and not just Asian, but I'm Japanese. And I actually face the fact that Japanese are very different from other Asians. Yeah, because Japan was the only country who actually was capable of occupying those places and dominating those places, and had the war with other countries, mainly in Europe, or European countries, I should say. Yeah, Japan was the only country which was capable of fighting against the large countries like the Britain, Germany, France, U.S. and stuff like that. Yeah, and I was confused for actually a couple years. Like, how should I look at this one here? Should I be apologetic, or should I really actually study and see the fact of what we did, what my ancestors did, and all that stuff? Because I always like to study history, but I didn't really go into that real deeply things. For example, I like to study the history about UK. Well, I like to study history about Europe and the US and Japan and China and stuff, civilization, stuff like that. But I didn't really know what Japan did in the occupied territories. We're almost in the era of the internet, and I started to search on the internet and stuff, and what we did in Nanking, the Nanjing massacre, whatever people talk about, and I found out that Nanking was a lie. Japanese actually didn't do it. There was a Chinese who massacred their own people, and they ran away. They took off because they are afraid of the Japanese troops. Japanese troops walked in, and the Japanese troops found all dead bodies um, um, on the street. Yeah, and they must have been very surprised, but they're saying they're very surprised. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so Japan. And actually, Japan built hospitals, uh, schools for poor children and stuff like that in Nanking and Korea, and of course Taiwan, and in all the occupied territories. Um, all the occupied territories, or all the territories that Japan occupied, uh, Japan built all hospitals and um, schools. We built railways. Again, I'm going to start to say we because they talk about me when they are talking about the Japanese troops. Okay, I don't represent them, but that's how they talk about us. Yeah, when they talk about Japanese troops, they talk about me. Yeah, because they say you. Yeah, so we built railways, um, water supply system, sewage system, you name it. Schools, buildings, streets, roads, everything that they have in those occupied territories. Japan built. Japan built. We built. Yeah, but the people in the world don't know that. Yeah, all they now all they say is Japan was bad. Japanese soldiers are cruel. Um, we kill lots of people. We raped lots of women and stuff. And that's what they say. Yeah. So this is what they say is against the fact that that really happened during the Japanese occupation era. Yeah. So I should speak up and I should say something about this. Yeah. And by the time I was in Hong Kong. Now I was living in Hong Kong for 3 years. I could have extended my contract with the company, the airline company, but I decided not to do that, and I decided to go back to, or I decided to come back to Japan and do some activities, and to tell the world that actually Japan was good during the occupation. Yeah, so that's what I decided to do, and it's been like 20 some years. I have no idea how I'm doing, but I'm trying. And I you know along the way that I have met people who are trying the same thing. Like there are some people who have the similar background that I have. Like they are Japanese too, but they speak perfect English, and they or Chinese and stuff, and they try to tell the world that actually that Japan was a good country. Yeah, and yeah, that's how I became a nationalist, and that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, and you know, along the way, I learned so many things. Like for example, people in the UK or people in the France, or like I'm talking about the countries that colonized other places and other countries, and of course, Mr. G, Italy too. Actually, yeah, there had to, how do you call this? The guilt trip, guilt trip, which means that like the countries that occupied those places, how do you call it? Like they colonized those places, are supposed to be guilty of occupying those places or whatever. And so actually, Japan wasn't the only one. Yeah, most countries in Europe, yeah, most prospering countries in Europe, like Italy, and the guilt trip or white guilt. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Right, right. Thanks. Yeah, I don't know the terms. Yeah, but I can explain though. Still, if I don't know the word anyway. Yeah, yeah, white guilt or guilt trip. Yeah, and I thought that Japan was the only country that was going through the guilt trip, but I guess not, because I watched a lots of TV shows and other stuff in the lots of countries in Europe, the countries that colonized or occupied other places or other countries, like typically the UK, France, Italy, Spain, Portugal. All those countries were accused for having colonized other places. And that was kind of good to find out because it makes me kind of feel, less burden. How do you call this? I don't even know the words anymore. Because I feel so much responsibility. Yeah. I have children, and I don't want my children to go through the same kind of like burden that my me and the mother my parents, grandparents had to carry on their shoulders. They should. I want them to feel proud. Yeah, I want them to feel proud of being Japanese, or I want them to feel proud of having the ancestors that did so many good things for other countries, and so many good things for us. Yeah, because not many people from not many countries were capable of doing something like that. Not many countries. Most countries, in most countries, people are uh, incapable of even taking care of their own countries. Look at Africa. Look at most countries in Asia. Yeah. Um, look at look at the I'm not gonna name them, but I can name Korea though, because Korea is totally dependent on Japan and stuff. Yeah, but forget about Korea for now. You know, the reason I talk about Korea not is not because the Korea is like such a big country, but Korea is to me, Korea is just a little piece of whatever. But the reason that we the Japanese have to talk about the Koreans is because we have so many Koreans in this country. That's why we have to talk about them, not the country itself. Actually, the country itself is just like a little piece of whatever. But because so many millions, um, including the ones who are naturalized and stuff, there are about maybe 4 to 5 million Korean residents living in Japan. That's the largest. That's the largest, hugest um, I don't even say minority because they just it's very big actually. But anyway, the racial group in Japan, yeah, Japan has like 130 million residents, and there are about 130 million Japanese, and about 4 million. So it doesn't look like a big number, compared with the size of the population of Japan. But still, 4 million is not a few. Yeah. Anyway, why am I talking about Korea? Forget about Korea. But anyway, most countries are incapable of. Most countries are incapable of um, taking care of their own countries, but Japan, UK, U, France, Italy, they are capable of taking care of the other places and other peoples. Yeah. So very few countries were capable of, you know, doing such a amazing work that that actually made the world better. Yeah, we made the world better, and we should be really proud of that. Yeah, that's what I feel about it. Because when they talk about colonization, when they talk about all those terrible things that we our ancestors, or like, yeah, our ancestors um, must have done whatever, and they always say, you killed us, you killed my ancestors, or whatever, right? So I say, we, yeah, and we did great things. We did great things for the world. We made the world better. Anyway, let me go back to the chat here. Mr. G, in the case of Germany, the uh, got the collective guilt, which is even worse. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Nazi Germany did the great things for the world. And actually, first of all, Nazi party, or the Hitler and the group, they did amazing things for their own people first. They rebuilt their um their country in about 2 or 3 years. In 2 or 3 years, the Nazi party, or the Hitler, um made Germany one of the richest countries in the world. And before that, it was one of the poorest countries because of the debt that the Germany had to other countries because of the World War I. Yeah, and I don't believe that the host thing. I don't want to be I don't want to be banned for this one here, but they I don't believe that the host thing. There are so many evidences that prove that there was no gas chamber to kill people and stuff. They that those gas chambers who in the Holocaust or whatever, Holocaust, they they the gas chambers wouldn't 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 be able to kill people, with the gas and stuff. Jesus Christ, it's so difficult to talk about this. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, yeah. But actually, Germany is one of the very few countries that made the world better. Yeah, that's for sure. If you think about it, if you let Africa, okay, or Southeast Asia rule the world, you know, then what could have happened? Can you even fucking imagine? Yeah, can you fucking imagine, like, what would happen? Now, let's say, like, instead of Europe and Japan, which have which are supposed to have done terrible things to the world. Yeah, let's say, like, Japan was so terrible, UK was so terrible, France was so terrible, Spain was so terrible, Italy was so terrible. Now let's say we are such terrible people, and okay, now okay, let's have Africa rule the world. Yeah, by now we could have been dead or exterminated a long time ago. Yeah, because they cannot create shit. Yeah, they can't create shit. They cannot fucking do anything. Look at them. So glad we are the ones who actually rule the world, because we made the world better. That's for sure. And I say we because when they talk about all the bad things that we, we our ancestors were supposed to have done, they say you did. You killed us. You killed my grandparents. You colonized. You stole things. You fucking, how do you call this? It's a cussing all this shit. Anyway, so the world should be appreciated. Fuck them, Basically, that's what I'm saying. Anyway, Mr. G, have you noticed that recently Disney released a movie about China defending themselves from Japanese invasion? Really? Oh, I had no idea. Okay, say that the situation was reverse. China invaded Japan. Yeah, and if they succeeded, they tried many times actually. They tried to invade Japan too, but they couldn't succeed because there was a big sea between Japan and China, right? They have to actually sail to Japan and stuff, and they couldn't really do that. And but if they succeeded and let's say they conquered Japan, Japan wouldn't have existed. There are some stupid motherfuckers who want to call us like Nazi and shit because you know th- maybe they're thinking that the kind of words that the kind of vocab could like make us feel guilty or something. Wrong, because they did great things. Yeah. The party did great things for Germany first. Yeah, I mean they did build a camp. Yeah, but mainly to put away the communists. Yeah, but the communists don't want to admit that they were put away for the violence, all the trouble that they caused in Europe, um, and stuff. So they made up a lot of stories, mixing up with the Jewish people and gypsies and stuff like that, right? And they they made a little story of like how so many Jews were put away in the camp in Poland and stuff, Auschwitz or whatever. Um, but actually, the Germans or like Nazi really hated communists. That's for sure. Yeah, they really hated communists. That's for sure. But the communists cannot bring themselves to admit that they are the ones who are really put away. Yeah, because of the violence and the trouble or the betrayal that they caused. Yeah, because they wanted to kill communists. I mean, that's for sure. Because there are some incidents that targeted the communists in Germany and other places in Europe. Yeah, because they are the ones who betrayed their own countries and they sold Germany to other communist countries and stuff. Yeah. So, you know, in Japan, I imagine the same thing is happening in Europe, maybe in the Italy. And Chief Moody and Mr. G, do you guys know each other? Hi, Chief. This is Mr. G. He's from Italy. He's an Italian nationalist, and Mr. G. This is Chief Moody. He's a British nationalist, and actually he's a YouTuber too. Chief Moody has a great channel called Mood of the Nation. Mood of the World. Mood of the Nation. Is that how you call it? Yeah. And I show up there sometimes. I think we met before. Oh, is that right? Okay. Yeah, Chief Moody has a great channel. And I don't think there's much of time difference between Italy and the UK. So I think Mr. G, it'd be so much easier for you to join the Mood of the Nation. Right. Yeah. Um, Mr. G lives in Italy, which is very close to the UK. When it comes to the timeline and stuff. Yeah. So uh, I don't know. I guess you can join that. They are very, very nice people. The people who joined Chief Moody himself and the other guys, the guys and men, women who are in the chat and all the stuff, they are very, very, they're real gentlemen, gentlemen, gentle women, very nice people. And I always have great time being there. And Mr. G, you have more Europeans than Japanese in the stream, right? I hope so because I try to I I'm doing this 5 in the morning here in Japan, so nobody's watching in Japan except for the two people, PC Fixed Video and Fairy. I don't know why they're awake, but our countries, former colonizing countries such as the UK, Japan, Italy, Spain, France, all those countries, all these countries did great things for the world. We made the world better. Yeah. And we should be proud of that. We did. We are the ones. Other countries couldn't do it. If there was, um, if, again, if we let Africa do the same thing, they could have, they would have just killed us because they don't know how to handle things. They would have enslaved us. Um, Japan colonized, and we built great um, we built great places in Asia. Yeah, we built schools in Korea, um, Taiwan, even Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, and those places. And you guys, Europe, you built the whole civilization in Africa, and I mean, you built um, you in Africa. The Europeans built the places where actually the human beings uh, can live comfortably. Yeah, so we should be proud. Yeah. Um. I anyway, whatever. That's what I talked about. that's what that's what I have been talking about. Yeah. Ochiai, do you have some Japanese World War II movie that you would recommend? Not sure. I don't really watch movies in general. Um, but if I do, and there are some, actually, PC Fix Video, he knows, PC knows, and Fairy, these two gentlemen know lots of movies and stuff. What do you recommend? 何かおすすめの戦争映画とかありますか？特に第二次世界大戦関係、太平洋戦争関係の。About it, especially about I ask them whether they know any good movies, more factual movies, not the how do you call this? Not fantasy, more factual movies about the World War II that we could recommend because I don't really know. I don't really watch movies because it's just you know most, for example, like most Hollywood movies about the World War II. A letter from Iwo Jima. Oh, okay, that's actually I watched that. PC is recommending here a letter from Iwo Jima. Yeah, that's one. I watched. I actually have it downloaded, but yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that's one. That's the one. Iwo Jima is the. Do you guys know? Do you guys know about this thing called Iwo Jima? A letter from Iwo Jima. Iwo Jima is an island, which is part of Japan, but which is like real like far and far from mainland Japan, and they had actually the Japanese army was in there, and they fought for a couple months, and actually the casualties of the Japanese army and the casualty of the U.S. military were same actually, about 3,000. No, wait, 30,000. About 30,000 casualties in Japan and 30,000 casualties in the U.S. or something. That's a that's a kind of a that's the kind of fight that they had in Iwo Jima. Yeah, they really killed each other. And actually, my grandfather's brother, my grandfather's brother died in Iwo Jima. Actually, that I have a lot of ancestors who died in World War II. They fought against the U.S. or they fought against the UK and whatever. And I'm sure many of you heard the stories about how uh, they fought. Some lots of British people that who were close to you, or the Italians who were close to you, who fought and died and stuff like that, right? And we hear a lot too here in Japan. And with Ken Watanabe, I like that actor. Right, I think he's awesome too. Yeah, he was in Ken Watanabe was in a movie called Last Samurai. Yeah, he was co-acting with what's his name? Not Bruce Lee. What's his name? Tom Cruise. Why did I say Bruce Lee? They kind of look like they kind of look alike. No, just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, Tom Cruise. Yeah, Ken Watanabe co-acting with Tom Cruise. Right. Anyway, whatever. PC fix. The bridge on the river Kauai portrays the Japanese army as a villain. Haha. Oh, okay. It's easy for people to make us look like bad people because we lost the fucking war. Yeah. Why are we treated as bad people? Because we lost the war. Yeah. So that was the mistake that we made. We could, we shouldn't have lost the war. If you lose the war and you fucking lose everything. And we even lose the all the honors and all those um the people make movies. For example, um I remember Chief Moody, if you're still there. um I watch a lot of Mark Collett and what's the woman's name, the Laura Towler. I hear I used to when they're on YouTube, and I used to listen to a lot of their talks and stuff. And one time, uh, Mark Collett and Laura Towler and two other people. I think they're from the Australia and the U.S. Those four people are speaking about Nazi Germany or Nazi, what the and movie. What's the name of the movie that Spielberg made? And they basically made a shit up. Um, Schindler's List. Right. Thank you, Chief. Yeah. I'm glad you're still there. Schindler's List. Yeah, they're talking about Schindler's List, and they talked about it. They talked about the movie, and I actually made a live show. I actually did a live show about their their show. I actually We actually listened to their talk, and we talked about it. Yeah, not many people watched, but yeah, yeah, Schindler's List. Hmm. Yeah. They're talking about like how like basically that they, how do you call it? I forgot the way that I think Laura was put in a way that basically the Holocaust is like a big business. Yeah. If you if people talk if people write books about Holocaust and they can make a they can make lots of money. Yeah. And if they make movies about Holocaust and they can make money and stuff or whatever, it's kind of like one of the things that people want to uh it's one of the things that people want to treat as a business material. Yeah. And when people talk about it and they make it, they can actually make it sound like how can it be? I'm trying to look for a word. Actually, the Laura was saying she used this term, which I can't remember, but actually, that's what I'm trying to remember. They anyway. So basically, it's a business material, propaganda. Yeah, propaganda. Nicola, thank you. But yeah, she was using a different term. I forgot. But sorry. Um, um. Anyway, like when people talk about when people talk about Nazi, for example, like if you say Nazi, yeah, you're actually trying to insult a person, right? Yeah, because Nazis must have done terrible things to the world or terrible things to the Jewish people and stuff. Yeah, and that's kind of things that they want to say, and based on that, they make movies and that they want to try to, like for example, like when the other day I was watching Chief Moody's stream, and he was showing this the Chief Moody was showing Chief if you're still there, you're showing this news article about this teenager, a very young person who is like a neo-Nazi or whatever. Yeah, neo-Nazi boy, neo-Nazi kid doing certain things or learning certain things, practicing certain things or whatever. I forgot, but if you say Nazi and they think they can scare us, the reason they're trying to call us Nazi, even in Japan they do the same thing. And the reason that they say Nazi, they try to call us Nazi, like me, the nationalist, and you guys, you the nationalist, they want to call us not Nazi, so that they could scare us. They try to, they think they could shut our mouth. They're trying to make us, they're trying to make us not to, not to be able to talk about our countries or like love for our countries, how great how great our ancestors are. Yeah, like for example, like it's a silencing tactic. Exactly, that's what I was saying. Last like 30 minutes I was saying like I don't know how to put it here. I don't know the term. you know Silencing tactic. Yeah, they're trying to silence us basically by saying calling us Nazi and shit. Yeah, but actually, Nazi did great things to Germany. Yeah, fuck them. PC. Japan is a defeated country and does not praise military personnel. So the only theme is the aesthetic of distraction. There is no movie that portrays the cool battle. Uh huh. Yeah. When it comes to Japan and stuff, and it's never glorious. It's like whatever. Maybe that's one of the reasons that I don't watch war movies because it's a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, they always talk about the shit that never really happened. Yeah, because when you it's it'd be so easy to it'd be I can't say a shame. Um, It'd be so easy to make war movies because it's all fantasy. It's all fantasy. They Nothing has to be based on the facts. There's nothing easier than making a war movie. If you're talking about like so many other movies and stuff, and that oftentimes they need to be factual, they need to be good, they need to be romantic or whatever. When it comes to war movies, you know, let's make Germans and Japanese bad, and Italians too. Yeah, and they and we kill like small children. We kill women. We rape women. You know, and we laugh. We fucking get drunk. That's how basically that's how they portrayed us. Be so much easier because we're because we lost war, and they can treat us like pure evils. I don't watch movies anymore. I watch other YouTubers talking and stuff, and that's more fun. Oh man, yeah. PC. The longest day, the battle of the Bulge, Battle of Britain. Very famous movies. Oh, is that right? Okay. Mm. I don't watch movies anymore. Yeah, because there's so many other things that you can watch on the internet nowadays. Yeah, I'm sure nowadays it's kind of different topic now, but in Japan, like in Japan and probably in your country too, we don't really watch TV shows anymore. We don't really watch TV. We don't really. I don't know how many people actually watching TV, like TV. Um, because we got the internet and we have phones. We have phones and we um yeah, and it's more fun. It's free. It's easier to access to. So anyway, I was interested. Chief Moody, if you're still there, um, I know it's kind of you know. I think you mentioned in your own stream that it's boring to talk about how we became nationalists and stuff, right? But I'm actually interested. Could you tell me if you don't mind? And Nicholas, you too, and Mr. G, how did you guys become nationalists? The other day, I think Chief Moody was saying something about like talking about how we became nationalists is kind of boring. But actually, I'm interested. How did you become interested? Have you always been nationalist? Have you always been being patriotic? Left liber libertarian libertarianism me. Oh, ho, ho. You used to be left, really? And how did you become a nationalist? Mr. G, how I became nationalist? Yes, don't know. I was always particularly patriotic. Really? Wow. Mass, you woke up much earlier than us. Because I was not. I wasn't really. I wasn't really left. I just wasn't very interested. Mass immigration just brought me even more on this side. Right, right, right. Because Italy is like right in front of Africa, so you guys are actually facing a different, um, um, not different, but like a how do you call it? Clear, clear and present danger. Yeah, because it's. I think Italy is very close to Libya and actually the African continent. Yeah. I was never particularly right leaning, but 2016 I went full. Yeah, I mean the rightist right. Yeah, I see. That's yeah. I wish I was like that, because I woke up pretty late actually. I, like I said, Hong Kong. My experience in Hong Kong made me patriotic and or like a nationalist or like maybe even a Japanese person. Uh, mhm, yeah, and Nicholas, same for me too. Since Iraq War. Oh, is that right? How did the war? I'm interested. How did the war make you a British patriot? Like what is it because of the soldiers, the British soldiers who were there and stuff, or what happened there? Correct. Okay. The who weapons of mass destruction or something or whatever. Is that what your weapons of mass destruction? That Saddam Hussein was supposed to be owning or something, but he didn't actually have him. Is that what you're trying to say here? Yeah. Okay, I see. Mr. G, do not forget that Italy was dragged by the Americans in their peacekeeping missions. Oh yeah, probably just like the UK. Yeah. PC. Britain's patriotism has always been great. The story of aristocrats who volunteered and fought is famous. Okay. Uh, Aristocrats, really? Oh, okay. They did not escape their duty of service by using their status and power. Right. Really? Oh, I didn't know that. Nicholas, most Asian countries stay away from war. Right. Asian countries are not connected to the U.S. military, and that's the main reason. But Japan and U.S. are very different because the relationship between Japan and U.S. We have this, defense. Uh, how do you call it? Defense treaty, security treaty between Japan and U.S. and that stuff. We could have been involved in. Yeah, because Korea has. Yeah. During the Vietnam War. Okay, let's talk about this one here. During the Vietnam War, um, Korea, South Korea was heavily involved in that, and they killed a lot. I mean, the Koreans, they killed lots of children in Vietnam. They massacred. They went to villages and they raped a bunch of women and stuff, and they did. you know, it is a recent history, so actually the people it is factual. Yeah, and a lot of Koreans know that too, and Vietnamese know that too. They have this word called Lai Dai Hang. Lai Dai Hang. Lai Dai Hang is a mixed kids uh, of mixed kids between the Vietnamese women and the Korean man. Yeah. Um, uh, which which are caused by the rapes that were committed by the Koreans. Yeah. In Vietnam. And the Koreans, the South Koreans who are the part of the U.S. military, they went into the villages and they lined up the kids and they killed all the kids in the villages and they killed all the kids in the village and stuff. They did terrible things, and it is um, yeah, it's difficult to talk about it. Yeah, but anyway, opinions on North Korea. That country always has been crazy, and the north, right? North Korea, the country always has been crazy. They, you know, I don't really know. they, I mean, I know, but I don't really know what to say about them because it's just so, yeah. I don't think Japan is really interested in North Korea because we know that the country is crazy already. Yeah, we know that the country is all fucked up, and it's just pe- the world the world knows that the North Korea is a fucked up country. They're a crazy country and stuff, and this and it's communist. So it's kind of like they're doing the same shit over and over. Every time they want money, every time they are starving, and they launch missiles to try to scare us and try to get money from us. That's basically what they do. Yeah. So Bacon, how you doing? It's been like 1 hour and 13 minutes. You're late. Chief Moody was here. I think you missed him. He went to bed. He has to go to work and stuff. Yeah. Bacon, I wanted to ask you, how did you become nationalist? How did you become a patriot? Bacon, for me, okay, here we go. Here's your answer. For me, it was seeing my country being overtaken rapidly. Oh, okay. When? Um, how? Like, because now the reason I'm asking you, the reason that I'm asking you is because I used to be a flight attendant, and I used to go to the UK. Not a lot, but maybe 5 or 6 times I went there, and even like that's about 20 years ago. And about 20 years ago, the UK or the place like London, I imagine Manchester and lots of other places too. uh you already had lots of Asians. For example, I saw lots of Chinese and Indians, Pakistanis. I'm not saying Pakis. I couldn't pronounce. Yeah, Pakistanis. And I already saw a lots of like colored people, and to my impression, already has London already had just way too many non-British people. Yeah, I didn't think it was the city was taken over by the minority, but I already saw a lot. Now, since when did you think that you guys are like way too many of them? Because about 20 years ago, when I actually went there, and I already saw lots of color there. Okay, here we go. Bacon. I have always been a nationalist since I was young. Really? Okay. But these last 10 years, immigrants have taken over, right? Same in Manchester, really. Yes, London was lost a long time ago. Agreed. Yeah, you know, I'm not British, so I can't really say, which place is taken over or whatever. But yeah, I saw lots of them, and some people make videos. And my favorite, there was one YouTuber that I really admired. His name is, or I should say was, because he doesn't do it anymore. Uh, I forgot the name, but he was my real favorite. Um, he doesn't do it anymore. Iconoclast. The Iconoclast. He doesn't do his live the shows anymore. I don't know why. And I really wanted to buy his magazines and stuff. Iconoclast Dan, right? Or Dan. I don't know if I should mention his name because he wanted to keep it secret, right? But I guess he was really hated by some people. I'm sure, um, because he was talking about the real politics, and some people just can't face facts. Iconoclast was very good. Yes, he was my real favorite. I watched all of them actually. Yeah, I watched most, well, most of them anyway. I watched most of the videos done by Mark Collett and the Iconoclast and Black Pigeon Speaks. These three gentlemen, they make great videos and they make great streams, and their talk is very interesting, very helpful. Actually, when it comes to the activities and stuff, these two gentlemen, um, and Black Pigeon Speaks too. The Iconoclast and Mark Collett and Black Pigeon Speaks, and I where I do my activities now. I'm involved in the activities in Japan. I go the street protests and stuff like that, and actually, I'm doing lots of things based on what I learned from these three gentlemen. Nicholas, truth hurts some people. Yeah, lots of people. That's why so many people are angry with the folks that I was talking about, that the folks I mentioned, because they talk about the truth. Yeah. Um. And Mark Collett, he was a real activist, and he has been involved in this his patriotic activities for a long time. He's still very young, but he knows a lot of things, and the all the every little thing that Mark Collett um mentions. I don't know if he's realizing it, but actually I think he's changing the lives of many people, and he actually changed my life too, away in Japan, because I listen to his talk, and it's like so many things. Uh, okay, let me just bring up one example here. For example, like he was talking about like fighting against the leftists on the street, and basically what he was saying is that nobody wants to support those who are bullied, even though we do sympathize. We feel we do feel sorry. We do feel sorry for those who are beaten and who are bullied, but we do not support. We don't want to give money to those who are bullied. Yeah. So you cannot be bullied by the leftists. We have to always stand up and fight. Yeah. Well, and basically we have to look kind of tough when we fight and stuff. And that all those things that every little thing that Mark Collett was saying really, really, really helped me. Basically, that his talk actually uh changed the way that I do my activities, because I used to be kind of quiet. I didn't really talk. I didn't really make speeches, but I do a lot of speeches now, and I try to fight. I try to be more on the offense rather than the defense, because of the talks of Mark Collett. No, so it's really literally that so many other things. I don't know. It's like the way we should be fighting on the street, the way that the 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 truth about the bullies that you face, on the street and stuff. Um, like Mark Collett talks about like how we should be fighting those people, and that really changed the way I act, and that changed my attitude, which changed the attitude of other uh, patriots in Japan too. Actually, that's what I was told. Not sure, but you know what I mean. So yeah, that he really influenced me, and the way I came to know him was when what am I saying here? Now, when I was watching the Iconoclast videos, and I came to know about Mark Collett, yeah, and all that stuff. Nicholas, I enjoy complexity theory and organizations, so I see a lot of patterns. Exactly. Yeah, Mark is our leader. I have met him. Yeah. Yeah, he talks about how we build organizations and stuff, and there's so much that you can learn from. Um, I learned a lot. I'm so I'm like so away from the UK, but and I have never met him, of course, but I learned so much. I was so lucky. Yeah, it's kind of scary sometimes, like to because of this technology, internet technology. It's like I came to know so many true so many facts about whatever, but at the same time, I really appreciate the fact that people say things. I get to watch it in Japan. There are some intelligent people, very smart people. Unbelievable. Yeah. um Streaky Bacon, Patriotic Alternative had a documentary on Channel 4 in UK. I don't know what Channel 4, but yeah, it's a TV channel in the UK 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, oh, just a while ago. And lots of people will have seen this program. It was a lefty hit piece on us, but it will give us publicity. Mark is great. Oh, is that right? At least they talk about you. There is no such thing as bad publicity, right? Old saying. Old saying. Yeah. And Bacon, Ochiai, I'm so happy. Mark influenced you. Uh huh. He did really influence me. He has no idea who I am, but yeah, who the fuck is this guy? But yeah, I mean, he really did influence me. That is where I first seen you after you left a comment in a bit shoot about a bit shoot about us, PA. Right, right, right. Oh, is that right? That's probably what I did. Yes, Ochiai TV channel. It is massive for us. Is that right? Yeah, exactly, my friend. No bad publicity, right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, they talk shit about you, but at least I mean you're getting recognized. I left the party, but I used to belong to a party called Japan First Party, Nippon Daishito. I used to belong to that, and became a little bit famous because the TV stations and talked about the group, and yeah, they're saying that this hate group, racist group, close-minded, whatever. Yeah, if you look at me, yeah, I'm doing my channel in English and oftentimes in French, Korean, and Vietnamese and stuff. Who could be more open-minded than this one here? Anyway, Bacon, you were mentioned on Moody's show last week. I noticed that. And I know so you were talking about me too. I saw the comments. Thank you very much, Bacon. Really, seriously. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. You're mentioning my name, saying like you should talk to Ochiai and or like Ochiai and Ochiai and the chief should be uh should be how do you call it, like a should have a live show and stuff. Yeah, I noticed that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Yeah, he actually mentioned my name too, and yeah, and he was just here like a while ago, so I should uh we should make some arrangement. Yeah, but like he said, um there's a huge time difference between Japan and the UK. It's difficult to arrange time. Yeah. Yes, I said I hope you were millionaire. Yeah, you're saying that. Maybe I shouldn't be there because I don't want to disappoint you. I thought you're talking about the different Japanese, you know. I thought you're talking about somebody else. Who the fuck is a Japanese millionaire? I mean, yeah, I'm sure they are, but yeah, but not me. Oh man. Yeah. Now, yeah. Bacon. Tomorrow, Mark and Laura will be discussing tonight's TV show on Patriotic Alternative on Odyssey platform. I think as Mark is banned from YouTube. Oh, I'm a vegan, so I'm eating rice and curry. Is that right? Yeah. Mm. Indians that you have in your country? Oh man. Yeah. It's okay to have a few. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to end it very soon too, but yeah, I want to say this. It's okay to have a few foreigners in your hometown, I guess, like one or two or something. You know, they can open one restaurant, one Chinese restaurant, one Indian restaurant, but we don't need any more than that. Yeah, I heard stories about like a grooming gang and stuff, and I had no idea. Yeah, in Japan, like we have lots of Chinese. We have like a couple million Chinese, and and Koreans too. They open their restaurants, and at one Chinese restaurant, actually um they had the they had this counterfeit ID, fake ID uh, factory in Osaka, I think, and the police raided the place and stuff just like a year ago or something. They're making permanent residence ID or something to stay in Japan, and they had the factory in Japan. They are selling the fake IDs to foreigners, mainly to Chinese and some other Asians, and they actually bought couple thousand Asians bought the fake IDs so that they could stay in Japan and stuff. Yeah, work permit. Yeah. That's right. Work permits. Work permits and even the permanent resident cars and stuff. Yeah, they had the factories and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, in this day and age, I mean, they can't believe they are still doing that kind of shit.